mythical city of Valinstradt, a mighty city which was one of the minor pinnacles in the era before the God Wars and the cataclysm that followed. Valinstradt was governed by the wise and protective Celestian Reyna, who was beloved by all who lived under her rule. Situated around the present-day Vale of Imlar, Valinstradt was a bustling metropolis of culture, art, and magical sciences that promised to allow the races of Mantica to walk among the stars with their Celestian benefactors. That was, until the fateful day the Fenulian mirror was shattered. On that day, Reyna fought to contain herself and protect her city along with those who lived there, but it was all in vain. The Celestian expended herself too far, and in her struggles she rent the fabric of reality surrounding the city. The effects of the Celestian rupture fed the apocalyptic tear, and it quickly engulfed the city and all those who lived within it, swallowing them all whole and throwing them into the ether of the universe. No one knew what happened to the fabled city until now. Gunther sat astride his large destrier in the thick morning mists. His horse was not really suited for scouting purposes, but the recent need for troops had placed everyone at the quartermaster's mercy, and right now the need was for patrols. Gunther did not complain overly much. His assignment could have been much worse, and at least this way he was able to see some of the countryside that he otherwise hadn't really had a chance to. The races of the Northern Alliance were a varied assortment, and usually the elves took charge of the scouting, but that didn't mean a human like himself couldn't be drafted into that service. Gunther was used to scouting in his days with the Brotherhood before a sound caused him to pause in his thoughts. It sounded like a woman weeping in the distance. The fog was so thick that he couldn't pinpoint the sound's origination, only that it came from somewhere in front of him, and so he urged his mount on cautiously. The sound was growing nearer. At least he thought so, right up until he pitched forward in his saddle as his horse toppled over the edge of a small valley he hadn't seen from the obscuring mists. He fell head over heels, spinning out of control. All the while the sound of the woman's crying echoed in his ears, along with the crunching sound of the snow around him as he tumbled down. After what seemed an eternity, he came to a stop, and once his head had ceased its spinning, he realized that the sound of the woman's sobs had come to a stop. He lifted his gaze and gasped at the sight that lay before him. A massive city lit with some kind of ghastly light was laying out before him. Gunther knew this city was not on any map, as he had checked all of them that he could have found before setting out on his scouting mission. This city should not be here. The most intriguing thing about it, however, was the lights that illuminated its streets in the stark and bleak morning dawn. Gunther quickly took out his field map that he had brought with him and marked his assumed location on it. With that, he scurried up the side of the gully that he had just tumbled down. He needed to report his find back to the ice court, and quickly. Hey guys, this is Ben Stoddard, and that was our storyline trailer for the upcoming Kings of War Vanguard campaign that's going to be running through Gamepulse in Rexburg, Idaho. Big shout out to Isaac for letting us run it there and letting us use his tables. So just to give you a quick background, this campaign will be starting up in January, and it's going to be running through March, with times for reporting being our regularly scheduled game nights on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of each month. So you'll be able to come in, report your battles, play your battles, however you want to do that, and those battles will be accumulated to help further the story. Just keep in mind this is a free campaign. I'm going to be running it to help jumpstart the Vanguard component of Kings of War within our community here in Southeast Idaho. So if it interests you, I'll be doing a demo this Saturday, December 8th, 2018 at Gamepulse, starting at 7 o'clock. And go until Isaac kicks us out. Okay, so that'll be to help us figure out the rules, help us learn how to play the game, all of that kind of stuff, and answer any questions about the campaign that you might have. Guys, I'm super excited for this, as I think Vanguard is fun. I have a really cool story campaign that I've got set up for us to play through as well. And without giving away too much, there's going to be 4 factions that you can claim allegiance to. There's going to be 2 good guy factions, 1 neutral, and 1 very, very evil faction. The campaign will be building to a huge all-day, possibly all-weekend battle of regular Kings of War, so not Vanguard, but regular Kings of War. That's going to be something in the neighborhood of hopefully 10,000 points is what we're trying to get to. And this battle is going to be to decide the fate of the lost city of Valinstradt and its mythical treasures that it has. So your Vanguard missions that you complete and report back to me will influence the aspects of that battle, such as maybe giving you access to some mythical monsters, somebody say super giants or big dragons, that kind of thing. Maybe some special artifacts, mythical swords, armor, that kind of thing. Or maybe just additional points for your faction, so it's not going to be completely balanced. Somebody might have an extra 100 or 200 or 1,000 or a couple thousand points over their opponent. It's going to be a big-time storyline battle, okay? Also, there will be bonuses for painted models, so get your paintbrushes going. This should help motivate you to get your armies and your Vanguard warbands painted, okay? Now, also remember that this is strictly for fun. This is not a competitive campaign. There's no real prize support that's going to be going along with this other than the storyline as it progresses. If you put in a lot of effort, you might see your guys popping up in the storyline and how it goes on. It's just meant to tell a story and be fun, though. There may be some prizes thrown in, some models, things of that matter, just because I think that makes it a little bit more fun, but nothing guaranteed. So don't come into it expecting that. I do hope to see you guys out on December 8th. If you can't make that, let me know. We can work out something else, just so you can be ready for the campaign in January. Guys, I'm really looking forward to rolling dice with you guys and building this story up. It should be an epic experience that we can all look back on for a long time. I hope to have additional videos for the campaign, and I'll upload them to this channel, so make sure you subscribe to Refugees of the Old World, our YouTube channel, if you want to get the fastest updates. The next video that I'm going to post is going to be going into the factions and their commanders that you can swear allegiance to. Remember that you can also play any race or army that you want to play. There is no specific army that you have to play if you swear allegiance to one or another kind of commander. But we'll be going into the factions and how those works. So let me know what you think of these videos in the comments below, and I'll look forward to rolling dice with you guys in the future.